gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Birds at the Rodeo. I'm Eric, your resident Eagles fan.
I'm Orlando, the resident Cowboys fan.
And welcome back, man. We have a lot to get into tonight.
Yeah, man. Football season might be over, but basketball season never disappoints. Even right after it ends, it's still giving us stuff to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we can get right into it. Obviously, the NBA season came to an end.
It did. First, prayers up to Tyrese Haliburton.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say first, just to give them the credit that they deserve as champions. Shout out to
I'll give them their flowers real quick.
Definitely want to send prayers and condolences to Tyrese Haliburton.
Absolutely.
Just that's very tough to deal with. I've seen people say that's one of the most devastating injuries.
It's the worst injury in basketball.
Yeah, I feel like just given the moment, the situation, everything surrounding Game 7, we've never really seen anything like that. So,
well, we did though in KD. Remember?
Well, I'm
not in the Game 7. Right. But
Game 7. So it's all the marbles. I kind of wanted to talk about how Kendrick Perkins was kind of saying he was saying, did you see before the game? He was saying he before the Game 7 even started, he was saying with the calf soreness and tightness that he was feeling that Tyrese shouldn't even play.
Honestly, well, what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely disagree.
They should. Well, yeah,
you definitely, because I mean, what are you playing for if not to play in Game 7 of the NBA? Like your entire career, the entire reason you want to be healthy is to do this. Right. So it's like I'd risk that every time.
I hear you. I will say, heading into Game 6, I was of the mindset that he shouldn't play.
I feel like a Game 6 facing elimination is the same as a Game 7.
Right. No. Like I understand. Like this is literally what you are playing for. This is what you've been training for all your life. Like I understand that. Because calves turn into Achilles so quickly, and we've seen it happen time and time again. I was nervous for him, man. And for me, Tyrese Haliburton had even said, I'm gonna be a game time decision. Like he said that. So if he's not even confident in his ability to play, I'm like, all right, bro, then don't do it. That was my mindset heading into Game 6. We saw what happened in Game 6. He looked fine. Indy was playing lights out, and he only played 23 minutes. Yeah. So it's okay, all right, shoot, maybe it's not as bad as it seems, right? Heading into Game 7. Game 7 happens. It arrives. He's hot. He hit 3 threes in the first quarter. Yep. Man made one move, and you see the pop. And I'm with you. I'm with him. Tyrese Haliburton. I'm sure you saw his statement. He said it I do it again. I understand it. He said, this isn't happening to me. This is an opportunity for me to get better. Mm-hmm. And I understand that. But I do understand. Like I said, heading into Game 6, I wouldn't have played. I wouldn't have wanted him to play just because, Achilles, bro. Dudes come back from that, but we'll see it really with Tatum and Tyrese Haliburton. Damian Lillard, he's already at the later stage of his career, but with Tyrese Haliburton, Jason Tatum, we're about to really find out what they're making. KD's an anomaly, right? Most guys that pop their Achilles don't come back and be better. Literally. Right? So, yeah, man, I understand the trepidation. I understand where Perk's coming from. As a competitor, though, I completely understand it. Nah, dude, this is for the chip. Game 7, I gotta play, right? Literally. If I can play, I'm gonna play. I completely understand it. Shoot, Isaiah Thomas, he played on a damn near broken ankle in the finals, right? You gotta do what you gotta do. We've seen time and time again. Terrell Owens played with screws in his ankle in the Super Bowl. We've seen it time and time again. You have to put your body on the line, and if you can play, go out there and play. Right. But I understand, I wouldn't have been mad at him if he didn't play. If Game 6 had came and he re-aggravated it or whatever, and then it's okay, you know what, I would have understood it. I wouldn't have been mad at it, but I'm glad he went out there. He went out on his shield. It's really tragic though, man, because that is the literally worst case scenario. You start out hot in the first quarter of Game 7, pop your Achilles, your team steadies the ship. Mm-hmm. They go into halftime with a 1-point lead, and then it just all falls apart in the second half. Right.
And I know you already kind of said it, but I agree that I think if he plays, the Pacers win that game. Mm-hmm. And I think the main thing is because with Tyrese Haliburton, it's one of the reasons I feel like you can't really call him a superstar is because while he is, like, I think he has the capability of being one of the best players in the entire NBA.
I mean, I think he's proven that. Yeah.
But at the same time, he'll have in the same series games where he does nothing. He's not as aggressive. He just doesn't have that superstar. He doesn't always show that superstar ability. I feel like there aren't.
What's your definition of a superstar?
I don't know if I have. I don't really know what I just know. Like, I can't. A superstar wouldn't have as many just no-show games.
Right, but when the moment arrives and you need somebody to make the play, Tyrese Haliburton has made the play time and time again. So I feel like that has to count for something.
I feel like they kind of cancel each other out.
Okay, so you feel like he's like teetering that line.
Yeah, he's like if he just could stay a little consistent, he'd be a guaranteed superstar.
I'm not gonna lie, I think he might be there for me just because we've seen him like in this run, right? He has literally come up time and time again, and he's been the engine that has sparked every comeback his team has made in this playoff run.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So
at the same time, there are games like Game 5 that are pivotal games that put your team down, and where I don't remember what his numbers were exactly, but he didn't make a single field goal. I know, and he was injured, but that was something that was won the game. And why I say I think they would have won had he played is because it didn't seem like it's usually never like he starts off hot, then has one of those games. It's almost like either or. Yeah. He's either killing it or he's not. Yeah. He's most of the time he's killing it, but occasionally he's not. And he started off killing, so I don't think it was going to be one of those games. No. It wasn't like Game 5 where they lost because he didn't make a single field goal.
He knows, Tyrese Haliburton, to his credit, like, he just knows how to stop the other team's momentum. Like, that's why, like, the Thunder, like, oh my God. Like, I said it on Instagram, like, I firmly believe, and I really do believe if Tyrese Haliburton plays, they win the finals. If you see what happened in the second half, right? TJ McConnell, Andrew Nembhard, they could not settle in. Their offense couldn't settle in. It was too many turnovers. Right. People were taking bad shots. Benedict Mathurin, I understand you're a hero ball player, but, like, dude, he was just taking horrible shots and just forcing the issue. And that's playing right into OKC's strengths, man. They are an anaconda on defense, right? They just slowly but surely wither you away and play full court pressure, 94 feet, and see if you can handle it. And Tyrese Haliburton knows how to handle that. He knows how to manage that. TJ McConnell does not. He's a one-trick pony. No disrespect, but, like, he's a one-trick pony.
TJ McConnell played as great as he possibly could have.
For him.
I think there even in Game 7, I think he was playing out of his body. Actually, he's what gave them that 1-point lead. Right, the spark he gives. I just think.
But in the third quarter, it can't be TJ McConnell.
That's when Tyrese comes back in.
And he can't be your offense.
And the same thing with Pascal Siakam. I don't think he had his best game.
No, he did. Rick Carlisle also sat him for a very long time.
He did in the third. I was confused about that. Yeah. But like I said, it's like he really, when he was in the game, he realized I don't really fault them because I feel like they all put their best foot forward. Like Pascal, it was a lot on their plate. Yeah. TJ, Pascal, Andrew Nembhard, they played as well as they could without their best player.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, I hear you about, like, Tyrese Haliburton, like, having those, like, where you at moments. But I mean, every superstar has had those where you at moments.
I feel like every superstar has had them, but nobody has them as often as he does. I feel like superstars might have them a couple times throughout a playoff run entirely.
Is Paul George a superstar? Before this season, was he a superstar to you?
There's definitely been times where he was a superstar, like his absolute prime. Yeah, for sure.
Because you know, like, you can make the debate about him. Like, he's had, like, where you at moments in the playoffs time and time again, right? He's also had, you know, amazing moments in the playoffs. So, man, for me, I'm not gonna lie, man. I think I'm gonna give Tyrese the nod. I think I'll give him that superstar status for now.
I'm not mad at it, because, like, the highs are so high.
Yes.
When he like a buzzer beater in every
it's
series.
the moments, right?
It's a buzzer beater in every series of the playoffs. Is insane.
Right. It's not like he's doing this when it doesn't count. Like, it's different if it's in the regular season because anybody can do it in the regular season. This man, like, he just knows. He just knows when it's time. To his credit, he knows when it's time. But again, praise up to Tyrese, man. I believe Indy's window is firmly open. They got everybody on their roster re-signed except for Miles Turner throughout the next 3 or 4 years.
And please, Los Angeles, keep him away. He consistently got 2 to 3 rebounds in an entire finals game.
Yeah.
I actually personally blame the entire finals loss on Miles Turner. I genuinely despise the way he plays basketball as a 7-foot player. He runs away from rebounds. Your team needs that with Chet Holmgren on the floor, with what's his name?
Isaiah Hartenstein
on the floor.
Yeah.
You have to go down there and get your team possessions. And there were times where he could have gotten not only could have got a defensive rebound, but could have at least prevented an offensive rebound.
Right.
But he's streaking down the floor.
Right.
That's crazy to me.
I hear you. Yeah, rebounding was a big issue for Indy this series. Miles Turner did not show up this series, I will admit. I feel
he
like
was awful from 3.
Yes. Yeah, right, which that's his thing, right? If he's shooting it well, then like the rest of his game starts to flow. But if he's not shooting it well, like I mean he had like one of those games where he was shooting the ball, he wasn't shooting the ball well, but he had a pretty good defensive game. But I think Miles Turner this offseason he needs, because Indy's gonna resign him. I don't think they're gonna let him walk. Rick Carlisle needs to tell him, hey, you need to work on your post game.
Literally.
Like play inside out.
Yeah, that's because I feel like as a big man, you can't only have an outside game.
Joel Embiid has had the same issue come playoff time, and it makes me sick to my stomach.
Chet Holmgren also was atrocious from 3.
Yeah, Chet's interesting, man, because like I mean he had a decent game 7. He had, what did he finish like 18, 12, and like 5 blocks or whatever. But like it's funny because I was talking to my friend.
He stopped shooting 3s.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend about like and we'll get into it later, like the Houston, the Rockets trade and everything. But like Jabari Smith specifically, right? It's like he like started to play well down the stretch last season, but like he has been underwhelming for what a 2nd overall pick is supposed to be, right?
Right.
And Chet Holmgren, I agree, he's had injuries and everything, but like I'm pretty sure they drafted Chet to be the Robin to Shea's Batman, not Jalen Williams. And
they got lucky.
Yes, but yeah, if Chet can, I don't know exactly what it is with him, but if he can figure it out, man. I mean, OKC's already a problem. Like they're going to be a problem for a very long time.
They have what is it? It's like 8, 9. It's like 10 draft.
They have 3 first-round draft picks tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow alone.
That's not. I think
they
fair.
have like 10 and like
they have. Yes, it's not fair.
3 to 4 drafts.
It's not, but it's like it's going to be interesting to see what Sam Presti does because you can't keep all those players, so. You'll probably trade back just to keep stocking up picks and whatever. But, yeah, man, the finals, man, I think we got gifted a great series. I think it was a great back-and-forth series.
I agree.
I said OKC in 6. I said Indy in 7. If Tyrese Haliburton doesn't get hurt, I really believe Indy runs away with it. I'm not going to lie. I just think they had OKC's number, especially when they were hot. And Tyrese Haliburton was hot. They were flowing well, and unfortunately, he popped his Achilles, man. That's literally the worst injury in basketball. That's the hardest one to come back from. And, all you can do is hope that Tyrese Haliburton comes back better than ever. And like I said, I feel like Indy will be back. I feel like their window's open. The East is wide open right now, right?
For sure.
Especially with the moves being made today, last night, the East is wide open. So, yeah, man, I think Indy will be a formidable foe in the East for the foreseeable future. Like you said, hats off to the OKC Thunder. The better team won.
Yeah.
But there is we're not going to act like there's not a little asterisk there. Like, the better team did win, but there is a little asterisk there. Like, we can't.
Just because we don't know what would have happened.
Yes. So, yeah, shout out to the OKC Thunder, man. The last time they got to the finals, it was all smoke, no cigar. Came back around, what is it? Oh, my God. They went to the finals in, 2013?
2012.
Was it 2012?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2012. So it's 2025 now, 13 years later, man. So shout out to the OKC Thunder, man. I know the Thunder faithful have been locked in deep. I know a couple Thunder fans. I know they were ecstatic. They kept blowing my up. So shout out to them, man. Shout out to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He got himself a ring. Shout out to Mark Daigneault. Shout out to the whole team, man. The Thunder are up right now. They are the best team in basketball, and everybody is playing catch-up now.
Also, shout out to Shea for the season he had as a whole. MVP, championship, finals MVP. That's the thing. The greatest. That's put him in the conversation with some of the greatest of all time in terms of people who've done that. So,
right.
Definitely want to give him props for that one.
Absolutely. You mentioned the Lakers a little bit earlier. And you are a resident Lakers fan because LeBron is still there, obviously. Lakers got sold, man.
Yeah.
Lakers got sold. How do you feel about that? What were your initial reactions?
I wasn't expecting it, but I mean, I'm not too like up or down on it. I feel like it was more of just like a kind of a business decision.
Yeah.
Kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
They sold for like $10 billion.
Yep.
Which is insane.
Yep.
I think that. I mean, Rob Pelinka's still the general manager, so he'll still be, handling the
for now.
The team.
There's some talk, yeah. Well, I mean, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
He'll still be handling like the day-to-day team aspect of the thing, of everything. But it wasn't like I was too mad about decisions Jeannie and the Buss family have been making. I mean, I think just as if you look at their run as the owner of the Lakers as a whole, I think they won a championship in every decade so far. I think that it was obviously it was always a destination people wanted to play. People never had anything bad to say about the Buss family, so I think that they got the most that they possibly could of that investment. like I said, championship every decade, highest. Just one of the most popular teams, obviously, and then being able to sell for $10 billion. Obviously, I feel like that's just a great feat in itself.
Right.
But just excited to see what this new ownership group decides to do. What kind of moves they plan on making, if any big ones. I mean, I feel like you don't really want to mess with the Lakers brand too much.
Well, I don't think you can even mess with the Lakers brand itself, right?
Right. So I think that there's I feel like just in terms of the Lakers, I feel like the ownership will have kind of less of a role in what's going on right now. Just
like the new ownership group.
Yeah, I feel like until LeBron retires, it's kind of be not kind of like a win now mode in terms of just like before he retires, and then once he retires, I feel like then they'll be able to like step foot forward as like the new Lakers, that like not new
like
and improved,
it's like Lucas time officially, and all
like
that.
the new iteration of the Lakers.
Right.
So I feel like they have a couple more seasons until they fully see.
Might have one more. We'll see how much.
Well, yeah.
I mean, because
he just opted in actually.
LeBron did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like not.
Well, it's funny because he has like retirement commercials out there now. You saw the Amazon.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
I think he might be hinting at something, man. That's all I'm saying. But
I've always said I think we will definitely know when it's his last season.
Yeah.
Much before the season starts. I don't think LeBron.
This is his last season.
I don't think he'll retire without a proper farewell tour.
1,000%.
So, like I said, I think we'll know. So at least we know for a fact we'll have at least one more season. But basically, I don't think we'll really see the impact they have on the team until that kind of step in a new direction happens.
Right. That's interesting because I'm not gonna say I disagree, but I mean the guy leading this new ownership group, I think it's Mark Walters. That's his name. He's the same guy that
owns the Dodgers,
right? And I don't, me, I don't keep up with baseball at all, but I do know that they
just won,
right? But like he bought the team and like he basically immediately made a lot of changes. Brought in the best GM in baseball. Now baseball is different because there's no salary cap, right? You can just spend whatever, but the aggressiveness was there, right? To go get a Shohei Ohtani, to go get, I know they got a whole bunch of other guys I can't name right now, but I know they got like the best roster in baseball, right? I think he hired a new manager too. Like he went shopping, man. He went shopping, and so I think with him, coming into the Lakers, and there's talk about Jeannie Buss. She's still going to be in charge of basketball operations.
I feel like they said the same thing with Mark Cuban.
Right. Here's the thing, because Mark Cuban messed up because that was like a handshake deal. It wasn't in writing. Apparently, like it's supposed to be in writing for Jeannie Buss. But I heard on a podcast, like legally, like the governor on the team, like has to be the one. I can't remember. Basically, essentially, like whoever is the chief governor of the team, like that is your representative. Like it can't be somebody else, basically. So I don't know. To be honest, I don't believe in any way. Like Jeannie Buss, like she might still be around, obviously, but I don't see her.
You don't get to make $10 billion
because why?
And stay in charge.
Why am I giving you $10 billion for me to not make the final call?
Right.
No. Yeah. So I can't remember the exact details and technicality of what I heard, but basically, like it's almost impossible for Jeannie Buss to still be making decisions if Mark Walters is the owner of the team. So
makes sense.
Yeah, man. But the Lakers, you know where I stand on JJ Redick, and we know there are really good head coaches out there. I'm just saying I would not be surprised if the Lakers, made a move and started making some calls, man. Mike Malone is still out there. Taylor Jenkins is still out there. Adrian Griffin is still out there.
I'd rather have JJ Redick than
all those guys.
Yeah, I feel like
really because what did you say before we spoke about this?
I wouldn't. Well, I wasn't really mad at JJ for the season. I feel like he definitely made a couple mistakes there at the end of that one game playing the starters the whole first half. But I feel
you'd rather
like
have JJ Redick over Mike Malone?
Absolutely, definitely. He was the first. He was what made me say. He's absolutely
really.
Yes. I think especially just because. Like I said, I think their window of winning right now is just kind of based on LeBron. And I think what they have building with JJ, I feel like they didn't really – 1 year isn't enough, especially 1 year with getting Luka half a season with your actual team isn't enough. And I don't think bringing in a new coach from scratch is going to be able to do better than what JJ could build off of.
I hear what you're saying. I just feel like we're giving JJ a lot of credit for. Yes, you got Luka midway, so like it's hard adjusting to that. But in the same breath, you got Luka midway. Like we spoke about this before. It's easy to say Eric Spoelstra is a great coach when you're coaching LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade, right? Like it's easy to say that.
Well, yeah, but that's the same. But Eric Spoelstra has showed he's a great coach because he's been able to be successful outside of that.
Right.
But the guys, Mike Malone, it's easy to be successful when you have Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray playing like an all-star. Contavious Caldwell-Pope shooting the lights out.
I feel like the Lakers need a veteran presence at the helm. I don't feel like JJ Redick. JJ Redick has like literally no coaching experience at all, right? Like he had none heading into this. There was some talk, like Toronto, I think interviewed him or wanted to interview him, or whatever. If you would have put JJ Redick on a bad team, and it's like, okay, like here's where you get your lumps, here's where you learn and how you manage situations and everything. Like, okay, like I can understand that, but I didn't like him going to Los Angeles in the first place.
I personally don't think players need as much like.
You better say what Kyrie said.
I don't know what Kyrie said.
You don't remember what he said with Steve Nash? Like they don't need a head coach?
Oh, not that they don't need a head coach. I just don't think that NBA players, like, I feel like they know the game in a way that kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Not bypass, but kind of just cancels out the need for that coaching experience.
Like, see, here's the thing, though.
Because I feel like you only get coaching experience by, I feel like that's why you get the chance, and then you can build the coaching experience from there.
Yeah, but you don't see guys come straight out the booth and just land a head coaching job for the Los Angeles Lakers. Like, usually you got to work your way up, man.
I mean, it kind of just depends on who you are as a former player.
Oh, I have not seen enough out of JJ Redick, me personally, as a coach yet. I didn't like him in the playoffs, and he looked rattled, and he looked very short with how he was operating. I mean, we saw how he dealt with the media. We saw how he didn't use his veteran assistant coaches who had all been head coaches before, right? Like, we saw that. I just feel like the Lakers, like you said, the window, LeBron, if he has 1-2 more years, whatever, you got to maximize that. I don't think you can maximize that with JJ Redick at the helm. I think you need to go look at a Michael Malone. I think you need to go look at a Taylor Jenkins. Who else is Who else is out there? I'm sure there's other guys available. I can't think of it right now. But I just if I'm the Lakers, I'm at the very least I'm looking at my options. Me personally,
I'm running it back for sure.
That's fair.
One thing that this Lakers being sold kind of made me think about, obviously, was if they were worth $10 billion, that the Cowboys got to be worth like close to 15.
Yeah.
So Jerry, I don't know, man. If you're looking,
he ain't selling
if you're looking for a big payday,
the Jones will literally never. The Joneses will never sell that team.
And the thing is, like, the difference between being a fan of the Lakers and being a fan of the Cowboys is, with the Cowboys, I do have a problem with the ownership and the way they've handled things, and I have a reason to want them to sell the team. But it just I just wasn't expecting the Lakers to be worth $10 billion, and so it just really made me.
It didn't. Well, because the Timberwolves sold for what, $5 billion, and then Portland. I can't remember what Portland sold for, but money's only going up now, man. Money's going up. So I mean, if the Knicks, if James Dolan ever gets offered, that Godfather offer, I mean, I won't be surprised. They might go for like 12 because it's New York, it's the market, it's the Knicks, right? So I'm not surprised they went for $10 billion.
And they're actually good right now.
They're Tom Thibodeau. I would hire Tom Thibodeau. No. I'm just saying guys who are out there. I would not hire Tom Thibodeau. I'm just saying guys who are out there. I would not hire Tom Thibodeau. Let me say it right now. But yeah, man, Lakers being sold. Moves might be made. Well, moves are being made. Lakers being sold. So we'll see what this new, like you said, new iteration of ownership, how they look for the Lakers. We'll see how aggressive they are super early on in the process. And it's going to be an exciting time for the Lakers fans, I'm sure. It is Tuesday. What is it, the 23rd?
I think it's 24th.
24th? Yeah, it's Tuesday, the 24th. And the draft is tomorrow. NBA draft is tomorrow.
And the season ended 2 days ago?
2 days ago. And there has been, 1, 2, 3, 4. There have been 4 major trades that have already happened. One a few hours ago. One in the Thief of the Night last night. KD.
The moment pretty much like as soon as the season ended.
Yep. KD, obviously. Desmond Bain, that got out before the season ended.
KD got traded while he was being interviewed like live.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's funny.
I feel like that. I low-key think that was planned. He was literally like in a public, like in a.
Oh, was he with Micah? Yeah. Oh, okay. Because I saw he was with Micah at like a Fanatics event. Michael Parsons.
It was at the Fanatics event, but he was like he was sitting in like this with Taylor Rooks though.
Yeah,
and they were like a huge crowd in front of them.
Yeah.
And then like everybody started getting. I feel like it was almost like the first time we ever got like a live reaction to a player being traded, and so they kind of.
They got his reaction live.
Yeah, he was.
But he probably knew it was coming though.
Like that's what I think. It was orchestrated to be announced while he was sitting there at that interview.
He's like, Houston, I'm coming. But
right.
No, that's funny. But yeah, man. Let's get right into it. We're gonna try to do it in chronological order here. So first, Desmond Bain got moved to the Orlando Magic for Cole Anthony, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and 4 first-round draft picks. I'm not going to lie, I was kind of shocked. I knew the Magic needed shooting. I just didn't know they were going big fish hunting. I like Desmond Bain as a player. He's not like...
That's funny. I hate him as a player.
Do you?
I hate watching him.
Yeah. I remember you saying that.
The way it just doesn't look good.
Hey, it doesn't look good, but he's cash.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He's cash.
I gotta respect that.
I really thought because a lot of the talk was that Orlando was going to go for like Anthony Simons or someone like that, which obviously we know he got moved for somebody else later, but. Yeah, man. Desmond Bain is a member of the Orlando Magic. I love it for the Magic. That's a lot to give up.
An insane amount.
That's a lot to give up. And it's funny, I was talking to somebody about it, and they were like, the Desmond Bain trade just makes the Luka trade look even worse.
I knew people were going to say that, and I just want people to remind people they got an entire NBA champion, Anthony Davis, in return. So it's not just like they got
crumbs.
Nothing. Yeah, it was they got 4 first-round picks, but you got a first-round pick and Anthony Davis. So I think it makes the Anthony Davis makes that gap insanely smaller.
Right. I agree with you, but it does kind of look like, man, like Desmond Bain went for 4.
I do think they should have got more for Luka.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to maximize that. But yeah, man, I like the trade for the Magic. It shows him up at 2.
Mm-hmm.
You put him alongside Jalen Suggs, who I love Jalen Suggs. You put him alongside Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, who I also love, Paolo Banchero, right?
Yeah. I think he's one of the very like next up players to really step up into being like that next generation of like really superstars in the NBA.
Yeah.
So
no, he's coming. I mean, he's already here, but he's out there for sure. For the Grizzlies, yeah. You know, people looked at this trade and they're like, okay, so are the Grizzlies fully like, are we tanking? Are we really is Ja up for grabs? Is Jaren Jackson up for grabs? If I'm Memphis, I mean, here's the thing. If you trade Ja, like, who's in the market for a Ja Morant right now? Because I struggle to think of a team.
Who's the point guard for the Kings?
Right now, they drafted Devin Carter last year, but you're right, they do have a point guard hole. But okay, Ja Morant in Sacramento. Let's run through that. Ja Morant in Sacramento. Who are you trading?
DeMar.
I think you might have to give up DeMar.
Oh well, I don't know.
And then if you're Memphis,
well, because if you're Memphis, you don't want DeMar.
Or maybe you do.
Getting an old player like that to tank.
Let's think about this though. Memphis. Let's think about it. Memphis at its best, like before Ja Morant, like the Great Grind Grizzlies, they had a lot of veteran players. They had, it was the Mike Conleys, it was the Tony Allens, it was the Zach Randolphs, the Marcus Gassols.
DeMar DeRozan's not that kind of player.
In terms of what?
The just kind of like.
I know, but maybe listen. Hear me out. Because now you got me thinking. You got Scottie Pippen Jr., who he's pretty nice. We saw what he did with Memphis last year. He's pretty nice. You got Cole Anthony. You got who they got the two. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope now. They're probably going to draft a two guard because they got the Magic's pick, the first pick. You got Jaren Jackson. You got Zach Edey. You got Brandon Clark. They got Jalen Wells. They got Jalen Wells, who's nice. He broke his wrist.
I still think if you trade Desmond Bane and you
at that point, yeah. So then you trade Jaren Jackson too.
Yeah, I feel like you don't really try to.
Maybe I wouldn't be mad if Memphis said, you know what,
we're just gonna go in a different direction.
Let's retool and see real quick. Because, hey, listen, Bulls fan here, DeMar DeRozan. I mean, he's a great player.
Right.
He's a great player. You put him in the right situation, he's a great player. It's Sacramento. I mean, when the sign and trade first got announced, I was like, man, okay, like, he's from California. I'm glad he used to go home. I initially liked the fit with him and De'Aaron and Sabonis, because Sabonis, he's a facilitator too at the center spot.
Right.
And DeMar's a mid-range guy. De'Aaron's a fast downhill, getting the lane guy. So I was like, okay, like, yeah, no, I like the fit. But obviously it didn't work. If you're Sacramento, you got to ask yourself, does Ja Morant fit with Zach LaVine? Maybe. Zach LaVine can be a catch-and-shoot guy from the outside. He can also, you could throw up alley-oops to him. I'm just saying, like, honestly, and I guess you have to see it, because I don't know if the same front office guys that, like, who are in Memphis right now, I don't know if this is the same guys from, like, the Grid and Grind era. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just saying, like, Memphis has been the one team where we've seen it, like, they retool, they get the veterans in there, and who knows, man. I mean, right? Yeah. I'm just saying, you never know. So you got me thinking the Sacramento, that could be an intriguing spot.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at a rebuild or a retool.
Can you think of anybody else, though, for that's in the market for Ja? Because I like, it would have to be a point guard for point guard if it's just talking about other teams, right? Because, I mean, there's some talk Cleveland might trade Darius Garland. I don't think I want to see Ja Morant in Cleveland, but.
No, not really. Yeah. I feel like I don't think too many teams would upgrade much from their current position.
Right,
so it's like, unless you're a team like Sacramento with a hole.
If Houston hadn't traded for KD, maybe you can talk to me about Ja Morant. Maybe, depending on what the package is. Maybe.
Yeah, especially if you're already talking about, like, including Jalen Green and stuff. So
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that, but there aren't too many places for Ja if they are thinking about moving on.
Right. So, I don't think Ja Morant's gonna get moved. Maybe Jaren Jackson gets moved.
No, the Lakers, I'd definitely be okay with that.
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Because he isn't the best rebounder. He's not just gonna go out there and get 13, 14 rebounds, but he can on a good night. But the defense he brings is better than Miles Turner.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I think he's a better, probably overall defender just because he can guard 1 through 5.
Because I feel like he can guard much better on the perimeter, and he's also a rim protector.
Right. Miles Turner is no slouch in the paint, though. I will say that. He's led the league in blocks 4 or 5 times.
For sure. But I think I don't know, obviously you watch the games, but if you see him move, it doesn't even, it looks like it hurts.
He's a little stiff. He's not
looks like it almost hurts, so I'm kind of.
But Miles Turner, as far as I know, he's been pretty durable these past 10 years, so.
Yeah.
I don't think he's had any issues. He just, hey man, look, Jokic don't look swift moving up and down the court either, so.
Yeah, but to me, it's it's a difference because he looks slow. Like I said, it genuinely to me looks like it hurts Miles Turner to run down the court.
He just doesn't like how he looks.
His legs are about to break.
Yeah, that's funny. So, yeah, man, I think Orlando. I would say if I had to give it a trade grade, I'd probably give it a B minus just because you gave up a lot for Desmond Bane.
Yeah, I'd agree.
You gave up a lot, so I'll give you a B minus. Memphis.
I'd say just a B.
Yeah, it's because we don't know what direction they're going in. We just don't know what direction they're going in. So yeah, we'll see, man. Orlando, you got your sniper, and Desmond Bane's a really good defender too. So hey, I hope it works out for y'all. Moving on down the pike, we kind of spoke about it earlier. The Houston Rockets have acquired 15-time All-Star Kevin Durant for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and the 10th overall draft pick tomorrow. A+ for Houston.
For sure.
A+. You get Kevin Durant, and all you got to give up is Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
And give Phoenix back their draft pick. A+.
You got it.
Houston needed a number 1 scorer badly, and they got probably the best one on the market in Kevin Durant. You keep Amen Thompson, you keep Fred VanVleet, you keep Şengün, you keep Tari Eason, you keep Cam Whitmore, you keep... Who am I missing? You keep Reed Shepherd. You got a squad. I'm not going to lie. I was literally just on the phone with my friend before we recorded. I'm not going to lie. He's a KD fan, so wherever KD goes, he's a Rockets fan now.
Right.
I was like, look, man, I'm not going to lie. To me, Houston is definitely a top 4 team in the West now. That, to me, that's what I question.
Yeah, definitely on paper, got to see how it actually plays out. But I feel like I agree it's an A+ trade. The fit works with who they kept. They didn't have to give anything. Jalen Green, I feel like giving up Dylan Brooks is absolutely nothing. But giving up Jalen Green is
okay. So you don't think Dylan Brooks is that valuable?
No.
Okay.
He doesn't play. His defense is overrated if you genuinely think he's a top tier shutdown defender.
I don't think he's a top tier, but I think he's
an irritator.
He's an upper defender. He's not a. He's a plus defender, not a minus defender.
I feel like he's an irritator more than he is a good defender.
Irritator, instigator, yeah. But I don't think his defense is a negative.
I feel like if he's Lance Stevenson that can play defense. Because he can. I'm not gonna say because he can play defense. Yeah. But it's just I feel
very
like
streaky shooter.
It's a lot more antics than it is just solid, really good defense.
Very streaky
shooting as well. So yeah, I don't see him as a valuable piece to a winning team.
Okay, that's fair.
And
Jalen Green, a lot of potential.
But
brother, you got to figure it out, man.
Yeah, one, he has to figure it out, and two, I didn't see that happening in Houston for sure.
You know what? Actually, do you remember? Do you remember? I don't know if we spoke about this before, but me and Lando, we went to the same college, and were you on that project with us in that sports class?
Where we talked about the Rockets.
Yeah. We had to do a marketing pitch around Jalen Green.
Yeah, we were like, oh, he has potential to be the future of the NBA.
I still believe that. I like Jalen Green. I just think he's very inconsistent. I also feel like he just see, it's hard because they took him. I don't remember. I think they drafted Şengün before him, but they took him thinking he was going to come in and just take off, right? The post James Harden era, it was going to be Jalen Green. And then Şengün kind of, you came to realize Şengün is your best player.
Right.
Right? And I don't know how, Jalen Green adjusted to that. You got Amen Thompson ascending now. It was probably rough for him, man, But nevertheless, like, the talent is there. And I'm not going to lie, I think the fit with him and Devin Booker could be nasty. Because it appears to me the Phoenix Suns are completely putting it in Devin Booker's hands, like, you are the point guard. I didn't like him at point guard at first because I was like, nah, he's like a bucket getter. He's not really a point guard. But I mean, shoot, he averaged like 27 and 7.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess they are fully invested in Devin Booker. You are the point guard, which, hey, you know what? Fine, cool. So if you're Phoenix, I'm not going to lie. I think if you're Phoenix, it's a very solid trade. As long as you can convince Bradley Beal's greedy behind to go somewhere.
Yeah. Right.
To go somewhere. Just.
They can get anything for him in a trade. I feel like it'd be a better fit for him.
Yes. But
he won't.
And see, it's funny because I thought, oh my God, there's 5 trades. I forgot to put the CJ McCollum trade.
Oh, right.
Because Bradley Beal. All the talk, because I looked it up after the KD trade went down, and I'm like, okay, like where are they talking about? What's the deal with Bradley Beal? There was only one team that was reportedly even remotely interested in Bradley Beal. You know what that team was?
Who?
The Washington Wizards. But again, earlier today, the Washington Wizards traded Jordan Poole and Sadiq Bey to the Pelicans for CJ McCollum and Kelly Olynyk. So I don't think Bradley Beal is going to go back to Washington.
Yeah.
So now if you're Phoenix.
Because that's actually crazy. There was a time where I looked at John Wall and Bradley Beal as pretty much equals to CJ McCollum and Damian.
Right. No, dude, Washington, they had a squad. For a little bit, they had a squad.
Yeah.
And
Martin Gortat, they had some guys.
They had Jonas Valanciunas in his younger year. Yeah, no. Oh, man. John Wall's injury, bro. That's what kickstarted it. I mean, Potter's Achilles, like that's what started it all. But yeah, Bradley Beal, man. If Phoenix can get Bradley Beal to go literally, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I hate this, but like to me, the only way you can do this, bring him into the office, you sit down with him and you tell him, dude, you are not a fit here. We can't play you. We're not gonna play you. You hold your cards. Where do you want to go? Yeah. We will figure it out. Where do you want to go? You're not gonna play here no more. Like to me, that's the only way. Because I don't know what else to do.
Right.
Right. I don't know what else to do. How else can I make you understand you are not welcome here anymore? I'm sorry. Like you're gonna get paid regardless.
Just go somewhere where you can play as well and do everybody a favor.
Right, man. So yeah, if Phoenix can figure out a way to get Bradley Beal to waive his no trade clause, I think they'll be in a much better position. I mean, they got their first round draft pick back this year, so yeah, man. I'm looking at a lineup with Devin Booker, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Ryan Dunn. They got Nick Richards and Oso. I can't remember his last name, but they got Oso at backup center. They still got Grayson Allen shooting off the bench. So yeah, like I said, for Houston, A+ trade. For Phoenix, I'll give it a B+. I'll give it a B+. Cause I think Jalen Green he'll flourish with Devin Booker. It's not gonna be all on him anymore. And he probably has a lot to learn from Booker too. So, Devin Booker, if you think about it, Devin Booker has been through the ringer, dog. He's been through from to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was on the horrible Phoenix Suns teams for years.
Definitely.
Then he got Chris Paul. He's like, oh, wow. We go to the finals, plays in the finals, and, they kind of wither off. Then they bring in KD. You thought it was going to work out. They bring in Bradley Beal. It's going to work out. Nah, bro. But, Devin Booker's been through it. So, Jalen Green could definitely win a lot from Devin Booker. And, yeah, man, what would you grade the trades?
I would grade, obviously, I think the Rockets get an A+.
Yes.
And I think that the Suns, they're just kind of looking to move on and move in a different direction. I got a B-. I mean,
yeah.
Houston had other much better assets to get, so getting a really good player, obviously, for potential is good for them, but getting Dylan Brooks isn't going to really help them. So I think it kind of evens it out, puts it right in the middle at a B-. So yeah, not too bad for both sides. That's the thing that, especially if one team's going to win, if one team's just kind of moving in a different direction, another team's going to take advantage of that and really and be the ones who win the trade. I think that's what Houston did. Obviously,
right.
It was no secret that Kevin was looking to be traded.
Yes.
There's even reports that he was denying trades, and they were.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, he didn't want to go to the Warriors and all that.
So,
no, I get it. Yeah, man, and on a final note on this trade, if you're Phoenix, Jalen Green's on a cheap deal right now. So if you're Phoenix and Jalen Green figures it out, like you got your backcourt for the next decade
for sure.
So yeah, man, Phoenix, hey man, kudos to y'all again. If if y'all can figure, it's not James Jones because they fired James Jones. I forgot who the new general manager is, but if he can figure out a way to get Bradley Beal's behind out of there, I'll feel much better about the Phoenix Suns moving forward.
So you don't think there's any way to figure it out with Bradley Beal?
Other than the scenario I just laid out, no, because unless he just wakes up one day and you say, you know what, all right, send me here.
No, I'm not mad at it.
I don't know what Washington. I mean, you made the. Oh my God, that's literally one of the worst moves in basketball history. Who gives Bradley Beal no trade clause?
Right. Because it's not. It's like those aren't just given out. So
it's almost like they did that. It's almost like they did that and said, like, no, we're gonna trade this man, and then y'all gonna be stuck with him. Like, I don't know what happened with that, but yeah, man, we'll see how that unfolds. Moving on along. Actually, you know what? We'll just get right into it because I just spoke about the trade. The Pelicans and the Wizards trade. Like I said, CJ McCollum and Kelly Olynyk are going to the Washington Wizards for Jordan Poole and Sadiq Bey. I was speaking to somebody about this earlier at work because it broke at work, and the first question that was asked was like, "What are the Wizards doing? Like, what direction are they going in?"
Yeah, literally no clue.
Because, well, actually, maybe I do see it because again, I just said like, if they go reacquire Bradley Beal, it's like okay. So if you have Bub Carrington, right, the young point guard they drafted last year, you have CJ McCollum, they have Marcus Smart off the bench. You have Chris Middleton. You have Bilal Coulibaly. I'm sorry if I butchered his name, but he's a menace.
Who did they get in the Kuzma trade?
They got Chris Middleton.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They got Chris Middleton he's definitely going to opt into his player option. He's not going to opt out, not at this point. He's going to opt in, so they're going to have Chris Middleton. They have Corey Kispert, sniper from outside. They got Alex Sarr, obviously. So if you're Washington, CJ is the veteran in that lineup now. I still like CJ McCollum. I did think the Pelicans needed to trade him, though. I still like him as a player. He can be that veteran presence. If you're Washington, I think, man, you might just be trying to find out who your next. Because Alex Sarr's supposed to be next up, right? But you might just be trying to figure out, like, maybe you're in the. I wouldn't say rebuild. Because I don't know if you can flip CJ McCollum. I don't know if you're going to flip CJ McCollum at this point. He has a $30 million expiring contract. So I don't know if you're going to flip him at this point. So, yeah, man, if you're Washington, you might just be trying to, the Jordan Poole experiment didn't work out. And, if you're in New Orleans, right, like, the youth movement is on.
Yeah.
Right, sure. If you're in New Orleans, the youth movement is on. Jordan Poole's going to go back to his natural position of playing two because they got DeJounte Murray. And so that should probably work out pretty well because they need shooting. So, but yeah, if you're Washington, it is a tough question of like, what is it you're trying to accomplish here? So, I don't know, man. But if you're the Pelicans, I'm not mad at the move. You put shooting in between DeJounte and Trey Murphy. You still got Jose Alvarado coming off the bench. You still got Herb Jones. Well, we'll see what happens with Zion because we know he has a whole case going on right now. So we'll see what happens with that. But you got your center of the future in Yves Messi. So if you're New Orleans, like I see what you're trying to do. If you're Washington, I can't see it. I'm trying to rationalize it, but I just do not know what direction y'all trying to go in.
I think they're just kind of going forward with Chris Middleton as like
for one more year,
and then just seeing what they can put around him. I guess I don't
even think Chris Middleton is their guy anymore. I think he's a guy. Yeah. I no disrespect, but I think he's a guy at this point.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, I think he's a guy. I think if anything, maybe they're just trying to see what is the best team to build around Alex Sarr.
Maybe, yeah.
You know, you got CJ McCollum shooting outside, Corey Kispert shooting outside, Chris Middleton, we know he can shoot from outside. Maybe you're just trying to see what best works to build around him, because I mean he's your franchise cornerstone for now, right? He's the guy you took second overall, like he's your guy. So maybe you're just trying to figure out what best suits around him. Moving on. Oh, actually, what would you grade that? I give New Orleans. I'll give him a C plus, just because Jordan Poole fell way off.
I'll give them both C's. It was just like kind of random.
Yeah.
Not really. I don't think it'll either team.
It doesn't move the needle. I don't think it moves the needle for either team. But okay. Yeah. I'll be nice. I'll say C pluses for both of them. Moving on. Last night in the thief of the night, Drew Holiday got moved for Anthony Simons.
Right.
Now, there's two ways to look at this, because Drew Holiday is now a Portland Trailblazer for the second time.
Right.
I like Anthony Simons' game. I do. It's hard because he was playing in Portland. Post Damian Lillard playing in Portland. If you're Boston, I think they looked at this as, at the time at least, I think they were looking at it as, well, Tatum's going to be out the whole next season. Mm-hmm. We need a guy to get buckets.
Yeah.
Let's go get Anthony Simons.
Go younger.
Right.
I feel like
he's in a contract year. Let's go get Anthony Simons. If it doesn't work out, we'll let him walk. Whatever. If you're Portland, I could see you keeping Drew Holiday, because at this point because it was either gonna be Scoot or Anthony Simons, right? You gotta make a decision who your point guard of the future is.
Right.
So I can see you keeping Drew and teaching Scoot the ropes, and Drew Holiday can also play 1 through 3
for sure.
So you can slide him in the lineup wherever you need him to, right? Alongside Shaedon Sharpe and Scoot. So I can see that. I could also see Portland flipping Drew Holiday, because as I stated before on this podcast, I feel like the Minnesota Timberwolves need a Drew Holiday, and you can flip Drew Holiday for a Dante DiVincenzo. And I'm not gonna lie, I'd make that deal right now.
I would if I was the Timberwolves.
Right. So, yeah, man, if you're Portland, you got a little bit of flexibility here in what you're going to do.
No, I think that was a pretty good trade on both sides. Specifically for the reasons you mentioned, like the Celtics need a guy to come in there to be able to get buckets in Jason Tatum's absence.
Right.
Also kind of, even set the offense up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that going younger was a pretty good option. Drew Holiday, obviously still a great player, but is getting older by the he honestly didn't even kind of he had played he didn't play like he's had 2 careers almost. He had like the early Drew.
It's crazy because he was on the 76ers. Oh my god!
Didn't he play for the Pacers at one point? I think.
No, not the Pelicans.
That's
Pelicans.
Right. Yeah. I mean, kind of just like all over the place. And
Milwaukee, Boston,
and then I think once he kind of really stepped into that role as like one of the best defenders in the league, I feel like that was like the second resurgence.
I mean, he was playing really good in New Orleans, but New Orleans wasn't that good at the time. That was a problem.
Yeah, I feel like there was a clear jump from him turning into
when he got sent to Milwaukee. That's when people
best defender, one of the best.
Right. When he got sent to Milwaukee, he put the league on notice. Like that's when people knew, like, oh no, Drew Holiday is that dude, man.
And I think now he definitely still provides a veteran presence. Like you say, can teach Scoot the ropes, can teach him how to play defense. That's kind of a lost art in today's game.
Chauncey Billups is the head coach there, so I'm sure he would appreciate that deeply.
Right. So I feel like that's a pretty good trade for both sides. I'm giving both sides a B+. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. B+. I think, like I said, I'm very interested to see how Anthony Simons looks with a Joe Mazzulla offense, because he takes shots.
Right.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how that works out. But yeah, I do. I like it from both sides. Like I said, Portland, it'll be interesting to see what they do with Drew Holiday, because you could flip him and if I'm Minnesota, I am calling Portland right now. Can I get Drew? Like, how can I get Drew? We know he might not, because apparently, I didn't see this, but apparently Drew was pissed about going back to Portland. I don't know. I didn't see it. I heard about it. So if he is, then I mean, shoot, hey, Minnesota, call up Portland. Right. Can I give you Dante in the second round? What can I do to make this happen? Because dude, you put Drew Holiday on Minnesota. First of all, like you said, veteran presence. I feel like he can probably get into Anthony Edwards' ear probably better than most guys. And They need a floor general. They've needed a floor general for years. Mike Conley, I respect you, bro, but it's time. To me, it's time.
I feel like he is a better Mike Conley at this point in his career. Like, he would upgrade from Mike Conley.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. Yeah, I'll give him a B+ for both teams, and we'll see if the Drew Holiday fallout in Portland. We'll see how that shakes out. Mm-hmm. Now, Boston made another seismic trade.
Right.
A few hours ago, I took a nap. Got off of work early. I took a nap. And I woke up to this trade.
I didn't even see it until I walked in and saw it on the board.
Kristaps Porzingis got traded to the Atlanta Hawks. The Boston Celtics are getting back. Who are they getting back? They're getting back Georges Niang and a second rounder from Atlanta. And the Brooklyn Nets are getting Terrence Mann and Atlanta's 22nd overall pick.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're Atlanta, I don't know, but I think if Atlanta is trying so hard to find Trae Young's partner, man. I guess I can respect that.
Definitely, they're making an attempt. I don't know if Kristaps is the guy, but I do like him getting a stretch. Like a stretch big who can kind of space
you give
that
Trae Young, Kristaps Porzingis, he stays healthy. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I definitely like that for him.
Right. So, yeah, if you're Atlanta, man, I mean, you got nothing to lose, man. Let me go get Kristaps. Trae Young is still there. You know, Zachary Richardson, he finished very strong. First overall draft pick, finished very strong throughout his rookie season. They got Jalen Johnson, who was ascending before he got hurt. They got Dyson Daniel, menace, absolute menace, probably the best perimeter defender right now. So yeah, if you're Atlanta, I like to trade for them. Go out and get you a stretch five. Go out and get you Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, shoot, Atlanta can mess around because again, the East is wide open. They can mess around and be right back in the mix.
Definitely.
This upcoming season. So I like it for Atlanta. If you're Boston, you're getting back Georges Niang. You know, he offers shooting from the stretch four position. Rotational player, nothing too crazy,
definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you're Boston, you know, because I got a text from my friend and coworker. He was like, "Okay, like Jaylen Brown, you're next."
To get traded?
See, because in my mind, I'm thinking if you're Boston, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Derek White. That's the three. That's your core. That's what you're building around. But apparently, there's talk of Derek White getting moved to Houston. Jaylen Brown might be up for grabs. So I asked the question: if you're moving Jaylen Brown, who like the same thing with John Morant? Like, who is in the market for a Jaylen Brown?
I'm not sure. I think the Celtics are. I think, I feel like I'm just a big. I feel like.
Like, is there any team that you feel like is like one big piece away?
I feel like the Celtics. They literally I think they won a finals and then dealt with injury. Yes. In this past year, I feel like that's not blowing it up would be crazy. Like they haven't proved. Like at this point, the core they have hasn't been proven to not work. It just the best one just got hurt.
Right. My argument was, like, do you trade him now because you've been through it all with Jalen and Jason? Like, you've seen it from one end of the rainbow to the other. Like, you saw it, right? You went through the heartaches. Y'all went through the trials and tribulations, and then you made it to the mountaintop. So like is it? Yeah, I think it'd be preemptive to quit.
Because I think making it up the mountaintop was like progressive. Like they were young. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals a couple times.
Yes.
Went to they worked their way to get to that.
Right.
Showed it could work, and then they haven't fallen off the mountaintop. They're just like on the side of it. With, that's why.
Yeah, I would not look to trade Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
If you're Boston.
Finals MVP, Jaylen Brown.
Now, remember, they have new ownership too, right? So, and with them trading Kristaps, they're now under the salary, the second apron, which I'm not too nuanced on that either. But I know they're saving a lot of money. So, if I'm Boston, I'm not looking to move Jaylen Brown. I'm not really looking to move Derek White either unless I get a crazy offer.
Right.
It'd have to be a crazy offer. But I'm not, to me, the Anthony Simons move, like, all right, cool.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like, because Jaylen Brown, he's not going to be able to carry the load all by himself, so.
And Drew Holiday I feel like he's a tradable piece at this point.
Now, the question for Boston is, like, what do they do at center now? Now, because remember, I had thrown out before, like, I would, Drew Holiday and Kristaps for Dante and Rudy Gobert. Obviously, that can't happen now.
Right.
There's one center that comes to mind. No, there's a few centers that are, like, on the market for sure. But if you're Boston, you're trying to get younger and you're trying to see. Now, I am not. This is gonna sound crazy. I am not a believer in this man as a player, just because, like, I feel like he's decent, but he talks way too much. He hasn't proven himself as the number one overall draft pick, in my opinion. Do you know where I'm going with this?
The guy, I can't remember if. Are you talking about DeAndre Ayton?
I am talking about DeAndre Ayton.
I hate the guy. That's another guy I would never want on my team.
Why? Why? Yeah. Why do you hate him?
I just don't see.
I've seen flashes.
I don't watch him enough.
Yeah.
To see flashes. So if it's not something he's doing consistently, I see it. And what I do see consistently, like when I say, it's just not. And it doesn't even look inspired. He doesn't look inspired to play. It's like just the heart. Heart
you're talking
and effort
about.
Just isn't
yes. There. See, because you're talking about in Phoenix, right?
Just in general, I didn't think Portland either.
He didn't have a great year in Portland, but in Phoenix, I know what you're talking about, like with the not looking like he wouldn't play. Him and Monty Williams like legit had beef with each other. Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what was all behind it, but yeah, that was a weird time. But he's on an expiring contract. He's still pretty young. Say what you want. He's still like a former first overall draft pick, and I think he averages for his career like 17 and so are you about to look it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, he averages a double for sure.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I mean, if you're Boston, okay, DeAndre Ayton, because Portland's gonna look to move him because they got Donovan Clingan and they got Robert Williams. They're gonna look to move DeAndre Ayton.
16 and 10 for his career.
Okay, yeah. If my starting center is giving me that, I'm not mad.
And it's a consistent, like every year.
Yeah,
like 14 or 17 and 10.
If my starting center is giving me that, I'm not mad, right? So, I mean, if you're Boston, DeAndre Ayton is up for grabs. I'm a Bulls fan. Nikola Vucevic is up for grabs. The Kings, they have Jonas Valanciunas backing up Sabonis right now. I still feel like Jonas is a starter in this league. So I feel like he should be up for grabs. Man, who else? If I'm Minnesota, I'm trying to see what the market is for Rudy. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Who else? Memphis. Jaren Jackson Jr., I guess we'll see. He might be up for grabs.
They're saying Bam in Miami might be up for grabs.
I don't like. For who? Are they saying to where?
I'm just basically saying that after not getting KD,
no, I think that's the wrong move.
Right.
I think that's the wrong move. But if Bam Adebayo was up for grabs, yeah, go get him.
Facts.
Who else? I don't know. There's a decent amount of big men that are available enough for grabs. So if you're Boston, if you're Boston, I guess Derek White. Because I'm not moving Jaylen Brown. So, Dane, do you move Jaylen for Derek White for one of those guys? Let me look.
See, I don't think you make any big moves until Jason Tatum comes back. Because it's like,
the question is, who's your center though? Right now,
it doesn't really matter because it's like, are they really? Are they trying to win this season with Jason?
Well, you still
Tatum
need to get out of starting center though, right? Like
that's what they can get backups. It doesn't.
So you think Boston should just like, for better words, tank the season?
Not tank the season, but definitely don't make a drastic move that'll shake up your season, because it's like.
Would it be drastic if you traded Derek White for a?
I think it'd be drastic if you trade Derek White or Jaylen Brown for anybody.
Well, for anybody, okay. So
anybody who's available.
Is it drastic if you trade Derek White? I'm just trying to like. Okay, what if you traded Derek White to Miami for Bam and? Because they got a lot of wings. Miami has a lot of wing players. You can get maybe you can get a Jaime Jaquez, and maybe you can get a Haywood Highsmith.
No, they were saying they wouldn't even trade them for KD.
Jaime, to me, he's next up. I like him a lot. So
I do too. That's what I'm saying. But like,
Riley,
you can't.
I feel like Derek White's the type of guy Pat Riley likes, though. Eric Spoelstra, like I feel like he's a Miami Heat guy.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like
okay. So who? Okay,
KD is an anybody's kind of guy.
Yeah, no. Okay, so then, Derek White to Minnesota. I think you'd have to get. Because where are the holes on Boston right now? Not at point guard because the guy Anthony Simons, the guy Peyton Pritchard. 2, you have Derek White. 3, Jaylen Brown. Your hole right now is really at 4 with Tatum out and 5 with Kristaps gone.
What about Al Horford?
Well, he's on an expiring deal. Well, I don't know if he's going to retire or not. And if he comes back, he's not a starter no more. He can't start.
He can play. He can start on a team that's like not trying to win. They're just trying to stay afloat.
Well, if you're Al Horford, then what am I doing? I'm 39 years old.
He can play till 40. He can play let this season go, and then next season Tatum comes back, give it one final push.
Okay, but even then, if you're Boston, you still have a hole at 5.
I feel like
Luke Cornett's a free agent. All they got under contract right now is Neemias Quintas. I'm sure I'm butchering his name, but
I feel like they signed literally some guys that.
Okay, so you wouldn't move Derek White for any of those guys we just talked about? Like not Bam, nobody. You're not moving Derek White?
No, I'm not moving on from our core while the main piece is out. At least gonna let
they got it
because it's like the pieces. Because
I hear what you're saying, but there's a hole there.
It's going to involve Jason Tatum in terms of being when they're actually.
Do you
successful.
think? Which core do you like better? Do you like a core of Derek White, Tatum? And I guess maybe that's not the way to ask it because we've seen that core win a chip. So
right.
But do you think a core of Tatum, Brown, and Adebayo? That's a pretty. You know what I'm saying? That's a pretty good 3 right there, man. That's a pretty good trio.
But I think you can't. I think you have to give up more than just Derek White for Bam Adebayo.
If you're Miami, you got to get back more?
Yeah.
Boston doesn't have that many assets now. That's the thing. Derek White and Jaylen Brown, like that's you know what I'm saying? Maybe you throwing up Peyton Pritchard.
Well, then you're gutting your team in a season.
I don't know, man. I don't.
That's what I'm saying. Their season.
Well, hold on. Actually, wait. I'm sorry, because I was talking about this. Miami has Davion Mitchell. He's going to be a restricted free agent. Do you do Bam and a Davion Mitchell and a future first round draft pick or whatever, or maybe a second or whatever? Like, do you do a sign and trade to Boston for Derek White and Peyton Pritchard? Davion Mitchell, I think Joe Mazzulla would love a Davion Mitchell. I'm not gonna lie, Miami does too. I love Davion Mitchell personally as a player, and I know he's a Miami guy for sure. So they probably wouldn't be looking to move him, but oh wait, you know who Miami has? A former Celtic. You know who I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
They have Scary Terry.
Yeah.
Terry Rozier, he's on an expiring contract. He hasn't really looked right since leaving Boston.
But that's Miami would need more to get. Boston would have to add things to the trade to get Bam, in my opinion.
I just almost feel like Derek White is going to get traded because they have a hole at center. And Brad Stevens, everybody literally is quoting and saying, like, Brad Stevens does not care. Like, he will make the big swings. He does not care.
I think that's just ruining your future, I
think. Maybe. I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see what Boston does because like we said, I don't know. Well, currently, right now, it's constructed. I don't know if Boston's playing for right now or they're playing for later. I don't know. So, we'll see. I give Boston, I'll give them a C+ grade just in the return. Atlanta, I'll give them a B+ just because I don't know if Kristaps is capable of staying healthy. I'll give them a B+. Brooklyn, if you're Brooklyn, I mean, congrats. They have 5 first-round draft picks now, so they could be packaging that to make a big move. So I'll give them a B+ for that. And they get Terrence Mann, solid rotational player. So yeah, man, we'll see what Boston has in store, man. I'm sure Brad Stevens has one more move to be made. I'm gonna check my phone real quick just to make sure. I don't know if you. I'm just seeing if any trades got moved.
I haven't seen anything.
Shams just said incoming calls on Jaylen Brown and Derek White. Shams just said that.
Well,
somebody get moved.
They're incoming calls. That don't mean they're outgoing.
No, no, but Brad Stevens is taking them. He's taking them. He's taking them. Okay. That's enough draft, or not draft, excuse me. That's enough trade talk, because that's all the trades that's happened as of right now. As I said before, it is Tuesday, June 24th. Tomorrow is Wednesday, June 25th. First round of the NBA draft is upon us. Let's just get this out the way right now. Cooper Flagg is going first.
The Dallas Mavericks.
Yes, he's a Dallas Maverick. He's already been out to dinner with a couple of his future Maverick teammates. Yes, we can put that to the shelf. What I want to talk about is Ace Bailey, top prospect out of Rutgers. Played alongside Dylan Harper. And Ace Bailey, man, I don't know how to put this. Brother, you are messing up badly right now. Even if you don't want to play for X, Y, and Z team, go work out.
Well, my thing is, he's only messing up if the teams he don't want, if the teams he wants to go to disagree and like use that as a reason not to take him. Would a team not take him for wanting to go to them?
Bro, like, just go work out.
Why? Who cares?
What do you mean, who cares? You're trying to get drafted.
No, I'm trying to go to
You're
this
trying
team.
to get drafted.
Why would I say it's the Wizards? Why would I work out for the Wizards if I don't want to play for the Wizards and I want to, for the sake of argument, I want to go to the Grizzlies and the Grizzlies are okay with me not working out for the Wizards.
But he hasn't worked out for anybody.
But that's only a problem if the teams you go to don't want it.
Because dude, when it's draft season, it happened with Shador. Teams talk. Things get leaked. Bro, just go. Even if you don't want to play for an XYZ team, go work out, go ball, go answer all their questions, go be a nice, respectful, whatever. Go do what you got to do. Go do your part in the draft process. So then, okay, cool. I know, it may be word gets out, he doesn't really want to go here, but yeah, I heard he's a good kid. He was a good kid. He had a great workout, great work ethic, all that, blah, blah, blah. But you sitting up here in your high horse, you have leverage. You don't have leverage. You haven't even entered the league yet. You don't have leverage.
I disagree.
I knew he was going to say that.
Because it's not like a Shador where the talent is undeniable.
Ace Bailey is good, but he's not like a surefire thing.
He's a surefire first round draft pick.
Yeah, but how many first round draft picks have you seen play him out?
But it's not based on them not wanting to work out for a team. It's just because they're not.
I don't like it, man. It to me is privileged. It's entitled.
I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. But what's wrong with being privileged to he doesn't owe these teams anything. The same way they don't owe him anything, he doesn't owe them anything.
But if you're trying to play in this league,
you can play in the league without playing for those teams.
It's just a bad look.
To the teams who you don't want to go to.
But possibly to the other 29 teams too.
But why though? Why would a team?
Because it's just bad for them.
I'm saying, as a team, if I'm looking at Ace Bailey as, man, this guy could help our franchise. Why would I care about him not working out?
I saw somebody had talked to Ace Bailey about this, and apparently they had asked him are you wanting to change your game when you get to the league to help the team or whatever, and he literally was like, I didn't see the quote, I didn't know exactly what he said, but he essentially said no, I'm not changing my game. Dude, this is all coming off as super selfish.
The teams he picked, he's going to go be their franchise player where they need to change.
What he said the Pelicans, the Wizards. I think it's the Nets.
Yeah, those are teams where he shouldn't have to change. If you draft him, you're drafting him with being your future to where you build around him.
Dude, it's just, yes, but don't come in here. Your game is not perfect. It's not. Yes, it's
You
not a
don't
fair
have to
statement.
say it's not. It doesn't have to be perfect.
I just listen. I just need. If I'm a GM, I'm looking for guys that are willing to come in and work, that are willing to put all the outside noise aside. Like, miss me with all that other stuff, man.
And who's to say once he's on a team and that's who
Okay,
he's
so
doing
you think this could like just be a ploy, just to
It's like-
maneuver where he's trying to go?
Because I have nothing wrong with it. It's like, why am I going to a tryout for a team I don't want to play for?
I hear what you're saying.
It's just a waste of time, everyone's time in that sense.
But he hasn't worked out for anybody.
I feel like could be a good thing or a bad thing. Either he has teams where he's interested, the teams he knows he wants to go to, he knows how interested they are in him.
Yes.
So it's like he doesn't have, or if he is.
So you don't think he's hurting
if he is selling now, I think the only way he's for sure hurting his draft stock if he's selling teams that he wants to go to that are interested in him and they want him to come work out and he's still telling them no, then yes, I think that's tanking his draft stock. But
yes.
If that's I think that.
So you don't think he's hurting his draft stock at all?
No. In terms of in terms of if you think that teams that he doesn't want to go to with higher picks,
yes,
would have taken him. So that
well, apparently,
yes, he is taking his draft.
Apparently, Philadelphia is still on the table. Like, even though he said he doesn't want to play, he said apparently it's still on the table. They'll take him.
That's why, because
which is
So it's like he does have leverage. Even if teams he doesn't want to go to are still interested in that, I know the teams he is interested in do.
I would not maneuver how he's maneuvering right now. I would go to every workout because you just never know, man. You just never know. Like,
I feel like if I would go to every workout. I would go to first round pick or second round pick. Probably, yeah, I'd go to every workout. But if I was almost a consensus second best player in the entire draft,
more like third or fourth. But his teammate Dylan Harper is definitely the second best player. But
I don't really keep up with college. I just know his namesake.
Let me also throw this out there too. Whoever takes him, you're right. He could be your future franchise, right? You got to ask yourself, is this the guy you want leading the charge? You legit have to ask yourself that.
I don't see why. This wouldn't make me not want him to lead the charge.
Nothing about this would make you question it?
No, I disagree with that. These players have to just fall on, listen to these, in the same Shador, they don't need these
Shador
teams.
is a different story. No.
They don't. They need this. He needs one team.
Yes.
To draft him.
Yes.
He does not have to jump through hoops for the Lakers and the Rockets and the Grizzlies and for what? Other than the tradition of what players have.
I hear what you're saying. You know how they say every game you play, your tape, it's not only tape for your team, but it's a tape for the other teams on the league, right?
Yeah.
So let's say Ace Bailey gets drafted to the Nets or whatever, right? Let's say things kind of flame out, whatever. But pre-draft process, had everything. He had great conversations with other teams. He liked other teams, how they operate, everything, whatever. But it doesn't work out in Brooklyn. For whatever reason, it doesn't work out in Brooklyn. You're probably more inclined to go trade for a guy and give him a second chance down the line. If that, you know what I'm saying? We liked him in the pre-draft process. He had a great workout for us. We know he's a good kid. It just didn't work out in Brooklyn. Let's bring him in. You operate like this. Yeah, you're right. It only takes one team. It could be one team. You out. You flame out there, you will never get back to the league.
He's not thinking like that.
No, but you know what I'm saying though?
Yeah, I get.
And to me, first of all, he doesn't have the right people in his court. It doesn't sound like he does. He has Sharif Cooper, former Auburn Tiger. I think he's playing overseas now. His father is Ace's agent, and his deal was he wanted to get paid for interviews. The agent wanted to get paid for interviews that Ace was doing. No, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't sound like Ace Bailey has the right people in his corner, to me. And because if I'm in his corner, like I'm telling him, yo, dude, like you need to think about the long-term ramifications of how you're playing this right now. Because yes, I agree. It's a players' league. I'm not taking anything away from that. Like to a certain degree, I'm not taking away anything from that. But man, you go to Brooklyn, you go to Washington, whatever, and you flame out there, and you come in here thinking like, oh no, that's all good. Like I don't gotta do nothing for nobody.
Well, if he flames out in Brooklyn, that's where he goes.
Yeah.
And then he goes and he's like still like he just doesn't work out, but he's still obviously a good player. If you don't bring him into your team if you think it can, because he didn't work out for you pre-draft, I feel like.
I'm just saying, like that. Your first impression, man. That's everything. That's what people say, right? Like it sticks with people. It really does.
But his first impression is what he does on the court.
No, not to the teams.
Yes,
no,
it is.
No,
because
their first impression is the draft.
You said what team you just said is that they don't care about that if you're good enough as a player.
I hear you, but I'm talking. Listen,
and
I'm
even
talking
if
about
it flames out, that's what I'm saying.
But the other teams, right?
Yeah,
like
yes,
your first impression is the draft process.
No, it's
yes,
not.
It is because that's when you first meet somebody or don't meet somebody.
But I'm saying, like you said, there's a team who even he said he doesn't, and they're saying the Sixers. Yes. We don't care if you want to play well. You're a good enough player to where we are going to draft you anyway. Because their first impression is what you do on the court.
Let me ask you something. Would that be a good move by the Sixers to draft somebody that doesn't want to be there?
Yeah.
Is it?
It's not a bad one. He's not going to not play well because he doesn't want to play there. He's going to suck it up.
Are you sure?
Yes, because that's what kills your career. I said that
we don't know.
Shadur. I said this in our same exact conversation about Shadur. I said if you tell a team I don't want you to draft, they draft you anyway, then yeah, you got to go suit up for that team.
But we don't know if he will.
That's insane, unheard of.
Lando,
when have we ever seen a player refuse to play for a team? Actually refuse to play for them?
Bo Jackson.
Well, we'll have to cut that out. He's the greatest of all time. He can do that. That's an anomaly.
Let me think. I don't know. But like that could happen though. Because if Ace Bailey's really stuck on, I'm not playing in Philly, I'm not playing in Utah, don't draft me. If you take me, I'm not showing up.
Then he will have a career that is blackballed from the league.
Yes.
I don't think not doing pre-draft workouts blackballs you from the league.
No, but I'm just saying that sticks with people. You don't think it does. That sticks with people. Listen, you got to remember who these folks are. These are rich owners. Mm-hmm. These are GMs, whatever. We know they come from they're at a certain level, right? They're at a certain status. They feel like, I'm not saying it's partially right, partially not. They're coming into it saying, you should feel honored that we're even considering taking. You know what I'm saying? That's how these folks think.
And I feel like that doesn't apply to when you're in the position he's in. Because
you may think it doesn't apply. You may think it doesn't apply, but that is not how it works. At least from what I've seen.
I think if you're good enough, that is how it works. Now he might not be good enough, and it is what it is.
Yes.
But like we said, it's the players' league. So when you're good enough, you do get to make these decisions.
Yeah.
He's banking on and betting on himself to be good enough, and I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah. Well, I think Ace Bailey is playing it all wrong. I think he has the wrong people in his corner. And Ace Bailey, for your own sake, man, I hope it works out for you, dog. I hope it does. Because if it doesn't, you going to regret this. I'm sorry.
Speaking of rookies.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'll say this. The Bulls have the 12th pick. Oh, God. There's so many moves that we need to make and that we haven't. First being, I feel like we need to fire Billy Donovan. Haven't done that. I don't see that happening. If Torres could come off of Patrick Williams' bad contract, I'd kiss his feet. It's not going to happen. We should have traded Vooch last year to Golden State. Didn't happen. We got to re-sign Josh Giddey to an extension. Well, I don't know. He's about to enter restricted free agency. There's a lot up in the air for the Chicago Bulls right now. I think we should probably take a center. Next time I think Vooch is going to get moved, hopefully. We also need another forward to help back up Matis. We could use a 3, really, because Patrick Williams hasn't panned out. I don't know, dude. There's so many different directions for the Bulls to go, honestly. I don't know what to say, man. I just hope we bring in a solid player that plays solid defense. I need a two-way. I need a legit two-way player. That's what I need. More than anything else, I need a legit two-way player. That's what I need. That's my expectations. I hope we make it happen. Lakers don't have a pick in this draft.
Yeah.
They don't, right?
Actually, no, we don't.
Yeah, they don't.
The 50-50.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I guess for the sake of conversation,
the Bronny pick.
Yeah. Any positions you feel like?
Obviously, we need a center.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping to go
50-50. You said that's the pick?
Yes.
I mean, maybe, speaking as a Michigan fan, maybe a Vlad Golden is there.
I've said before, I don't really follow college basketball too much, so I don't even know who's really available.
Yeah.
I know, like I said, we do need a center. I'm kind of hoping more we go in free agency or through a trade.
Right.
But, I mean, depth, we need defense.
Yeah.
So, I know we need... And just more shooters. Actually, I feel like we're more in need of size. I feel like Luka does really well with big men, some guys who can rim run, catch those lobs.
Yep.
So looking for more, even if we do, obviously, like I said, I want a center of a more established player for our starting center, but maybe a backup guy who can come in, maybe shooting never hurts in the NBA, so we can get us a sniper. We still have Dalton Connect. So
who might get traded again? That's what I saw.
So who knows with this ownership?
Yeah.
Draft night is the trades have already started.
You're right.
So
You're right. Because the Lakers, they have a few. I would say they have a few tradable assets. You got Jared Vanderbilt. I don't know if Dorian Finney-Smith picked up his player option. He probably did, but if he did, that's another tradable contract.
We got Rui. All offseason.
Gabe Vincent, who's been underwhelming, I feel like. So
he's very streaky, but I haven't been as disappointed I have been with other shooters. Like, for example,
on the Lakers?
Yes. His name is
Shake Milton?
No, he plays for the Bucks.
Now he plays for the Bucks?
Yes.
You're not talking about Gary Trent Jr.?
No.
He plays for the Bucks. He plays for the Bucks.
Malik Beasley.
No, Malik Beasley plays for the Pistons.
No, then who is it? Is it Malik Beasley?
The guy plays for the Bucks right now?
I thought so. When did Malik Beasley?
He plays for the Pistons.
Okay, he did. Well, he did. He
did play for the Bucks. Was he on the Lakers?
Yeah.
Wow, when was that?
It was the year before the Bucks.
I feel like I'm starting to have memories of him in a Lakers uniform.
in both Detroit and Milwaukee, he's 40.
Oh, he was lights out.
41% for three after shooting
with the Lakers
35%, and it doesn't. Sounds like not that big, but it was definitely a sizable gap, and he shot 42% from three before. So that's just kind of the
LA just might not have been his spot.
That's kind of how the sentiment I've got after other Lakers shooters have left, but I don't really feel that about Gabe Vincent, so I wouldn't be mad about him returning.
Yeah,
but all offseason, Lakers fans have been debating whether or not we should move on from Austin Reeves.
Yeah. I mean, because if you make a trade for an established guy, you probably that's the guy, right?
You're not going to get away with
Rui probably. So
you're not going to get away with getting another top tier player without trading Austin Reeves like you did with Luka. So I mean,
are you game for that?
I love him, and it just depends on the trade and what we got back.
I mean, maybe you can package Rui, Jared. Like I said, Dorian Finney-Smith. We'll see if he picked up his player option. I mean, those are three really good rotational pieces.
Yeah, for sure.
So maybe you could package it. I get Dalton Connect. I mean, I like him as a player. He's got to figure out other stuff. But
I think it's just more of got kind of a mental thing with him. He definitely showed streaks of being a decent player.
Yeah. I'll just say this on the mental note. Hey man, it's the NBA, dog. Anybody can get traded. It's a business first and foremost. You just gotta come into it with it.
I said it when it happened. I feel like I wouldn't have even been that, like, if a team packaged me in a trade but then vetoed it themselves. Obviously, it was more so because of the other player and it's like health issue, but I wouldn't be
like, it is what it is, bro. Like, you can only feel a way about it for so long. Like, you gotta go out there and hoop, dog. Like,
no, I feel like I genuinely think more the confidence you came more so from his minutes and rotations more so than
I feel like
being traded.
Like him when he got back, like I feel like the rotation got real weird.
Yeah, he got back. The rotation got real. He came back from injury. A few guys came back from injury actually, and kind of just bumped a lot of guys out of the rotation. I feel like that's where his confidence kind of went because he was playing. His minutes got a lot more streaky, so he'd come in, and as a shooter, it's kind of hard to not play consistent minutes and then come in and be able to shoot well.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So. Yeah, but the Lakers, we'll see what happens. Austin Reeves, that's their biggest trade chip.
Yeah, for sure.
And I guess let's play this game real quick. You're the Lakers fan, so if you're Austin Reeves, who would you like to trade for a center, ideally?
The only guys I'd be okay with getting back for Austin would be Bam.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think. Jaren Jackson Jr., but
you really love Jaren Jackson Jr.
You gotta be like the best. Like I feel like that's me reaching for the best of the best. Obviously, it's hard.
If I'm Memphis and Miami, you got to give me a haul.
Exactly.
You got to give me a haul.
It wouldn't just be Austin Reeves; it'd be Austin, Rui, Jared, Dalton.
It'd have to be everybody. They ain't got no picks, so it'd have to be everybody.
Right. So I mean,
but you can't. Yeah. God, is there? I mean. Okay, now, are you a fan of Jonas Valanciunas?
Yeah, I like him, but I don't really see him as like a solid starter right now.
You don't think so?
Not the caliber.
Like
that
just
we
to
need.
for better, I can't think of a better word, but he's a stopgap. Like he can be your starter for now while you find your guy. You know what I'm saying?
That's like I said, but I don't think our future. Like we do have a future, obviously,
yes.
There's more of a win now, more so than the future.
Because I just wonder what like Austin Reeves what the rest of the league views him as. Like, because how much are you willing to give up for him? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, because I'm not. If I'm Miami, like you got to give me more than Austin Reeves.
Oh, I honestly don't even think Austin Reeves fits in with what Miami has. No,
right now. I mean, because they really don't.
Tyler Herro, the same guy.
Yeah. It's like so. And who was you said? Jaren Jackson. And I see maybe because Memphis kind of has a hole now, so maybe. But I mean, I'm not just giving you Jaren Jackson Jr. for Austin Reeves. Like you got to give me a haul.
Yeah.
Which maybe you get a third team involved. Maybe so. It'll be interesting to see how the Lakers shake out, man. Like we said, new ownership group. They seem to be very aggressive. So we'll see. I expect some major moves to happen in the near future.
Definitely.
Before we get on out of here, man, it's kind of funny because we kind of talked about it in regards to the NBA with Ace Bailey, but like the Cincinnati Bengals, they are fastly approaching being the absolute mockery and joke of the league.
Now, is anything happening outside of the rookie in this contract?
Well, Trey Henderson is still holding out. They still haven't paid him. I just like the way they operate. Like it just and an article just came out. Players talked about like Bengals treatment of like the players' families are horrible. Dude, this is just. Yeah, let me say this because Shamar Stewart, that's the rookie. Let me just say this. I'm not mad at the Bengals for their position with him specifically, because they drafted him as a project.
Right.
Like, dude, you got drafted in the first round off of, I think he had 4 career sacks in college. 4, I think that's the number.
Right.
Because Joey Bosa, because literally he had the exact same holdout because there was issues with the void language. That's why Joey Bosa held out initially when he got drafted by the Chargers. Joey Bosa was a proven, established player heading in.
Right.
Best defensive player in that draft. What was it? The 3rd overall pick? Like, Joey Bosa had leverage. And he earned it. Shamar Stewart did not do anything at Texas A&M. All he did was have a great draft combine, great workouts, right? He has all the measurables. But you still got drafted off potential. And you over here
not showing it.
Not potential. Right. You like the Bengals are in the wrong 1000%. Like he's quoted as saying that. The Bengals are in the wrong. He's quoted as saying he literally said, look what they do in the Trey Henderson. He gave them 17 sacks. Look at he said what they gonna do to me. Dog. First of all, in two regards, A, yes, look what's happening with Trey Henderson right now. So 2, that should give you a shot.
That if they're not even going to sign a guy who got them 17, they're not worried about a rookie.
Yes. So, and if the guy that led the league in sacks if he's holding out right now, what do you think you need to be doing?
Playing.
So Shamar Stewart, you can miss me with that, bro. Like you done left Cincinnati now. There's talk of him re-entering the draft next year.
I didn't even know that was allowed.
Dude, but he can't. I don't think he can go back to college, so he's literally be sitting out a year.
Right.
And the Bengals can't take him again. And like I just said before, dude, all the other teams are seeing how you handle this. Right. You think we're going to take you? Like, we're definitely not going to take you day one.
Yeah, for sure.
So Shamar Stewart, you can miss me with that. Trey Henderson.
So if he would have just not played, he would lose all the money they were trying to get him to sign. And we'd have to go back like he's not going to be a first-round draft pick anymore. Nope. Might not even be second round.
And the Bengals could not draft him.
So yeah, he'd be
on the bench he'd be on the couch for a year basically.
He'd probably like go play UFL or maybe something. He'd do something, but he's missing out on a lot of money. Like you're cutting off your nose to spite your face in this situation. If you take it that way.
I don't know what to say. I think he's messing up completely. Again, he doesn't have the right people in his corner. It don't sound like. So yeah, I'm not mad at Cincy on that. I'm really not. Trey Henderson, on the other hand, the man just had 17.5 sacks.
Yeah,
your defense was god awful,
and it's going to be god awful.
He is your best defensive player by far, and y'all are playing chicken with this man.
Y'all will have by far the worst defense in the league. I think they'll have one of the worst defenses in the league. Even
with him, because they didn't do much. Exactly.
Him, it's guaranteed last place.
Exactly.
It's like, would you pay Jamar and T for if you're not going to be able to? Y'all games are going to be 50-50.
And if you're Joe Burrow, I know Joe Burrow's pissed, bro. I know he's pissed. He's talked about it time and time again. He's literally said, why can't we be like Philadelphia? He literally was quoted as saying that. What?
I feel like it's a very good question. They sign players, they keep players, they draft players.
The culture in Cincinnati does not appear to be a good one right now.
Right.
It doesn't appear to be cohesive. The front office is at odds with the team's best players. And if you're not going to pay, fine. If you're really not going to pay Trey Henderson, then just trade him.
Right.
Trade him. Get back draft picks. Maybe get a player or two, but get back draft picks and figure it out, dude. I don't get it, man. It's funny because like you're Cincy, right? You got Joe Burrow. You got a top 5 quarterback in the league. You got Joe Burrow. You got Jim Chase, top 2 receiver in the league. You got again. I don't think they should have brought back T. Higgins. Or I don't think T. Higgins should return to Cincy so easily, in my opinion. I don't know, man. It's just funny. Teams, and it's the small market teams, right? They hit the home run with the quarterback, or they hit the home run with the franchise player, regardless of whatever sport, right? And then they kind of just like, all right, cool. Like we got Joe Burrow, we got Jamar, we're fine. We don't need to make moves. We don't need to rebuild the defense. We don't need to make sure the other side of the ball is set. If you're Denver, right, with just flipping over to the NBA, we have Jokic, we just want to chill. We're good. We don't need to make sure the bench is there. We don't need to re-up the team. It's crazy to me. If you're the Chiefs, the Chiefs just drafted I think since Patrick Mahomes has been their quarterback, they have taken the first O-lineman in the first round, since he's been there. Well, it's cool. We got Patrick Mahomes. We don't need to protect him. I don't understand it. The Bengals are setting themselves back every day. Mike Brown, I can't even get on Mike Brown anymore because he's not even running the team. This is his daughter's running the team, so I don't even know what's going on. I'm not saying that to say anything. I'm just saying, like, we see it's a joke in Cincy right now. Something has to happen.
Yeah, I feel like they're really
like if I'm a big now I'm pissed.
They're not moving
in the
towards
right
success
direction
right now.
No.
So yeah, it's not looking too bright for them if they can't get some of these things under control, and there's things that are within their control.
Yes,
which that's why it's so frustrating, or why it could be so frustrating for Bengals fans or people involved in the situation. It's just like y'all are basically choosing for these problems to be occurring.
Self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah,
self-inflicted wounds, and you're in a division that keeps getting better. Steelers just got Aaron Rodgers. Ravens just got Jair Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing? like real talk, what are we doing? Are you playing for third now?
They're sliding to fourth.
Well, Cleveland, you think they're gonna be worse than Cleveland?
They're
you think
they're not getting.
You say they're getting there?
Like, yeah, they're trending in that direction.
Oh, that would have been a hot one. The Cincy, but worse than the Browns. Jesus.
No, like we said, they still got Joe Burrow, tomorrow.
No, you're right. But yeah, man, Cincy, y'all got to get y'all stuff together, man. Bengals fans, I feel sorry for y'all. I truly do, because if I was a Bengals fan, I'd be pissed right now. I'd be absolutely pissed.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, that is a wrap on this episode of Birds of the Rodeo.
Yep.
I'm Eric, your resident Eagles fan.
I'm Orlando, the resident Cowboys fan.
And thank you for tuning in. Please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all of the above.
Yep. Check us out for upcoming, the season's coming up.
Yep.
Soon we've got the draft tomorrow, so we'll be probably recapping that, see where everyone goes, and just stay tuned for the future.
Stay tuned. Stay locked in. Oh, did I see a trade notification? Nope, I didn't.
You never know these days.
You never know.
Especially with basketball.
Absolutely. Last night I woke up and Drew Holiday got traded, so you never know. Hey, thank y'all for the support.
Mm-hmm.
And until next time, peace.
Later.
Jamal with a stroke of genius.